Welcome in Science Magazine program.
On the 21st of March 2025, BIRAC's 13th Foundation Day was celebrated at the National Media Centre in the gracious presence of Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology. After the lighting of the lamp ceremony, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director, BIRAC, said,
India's bioeconomy today stands at $165.7 billion, nearly doubling from $86 billion in 2020 and contributing 4.25% to the overall GDP. This has been possible through BIRAC's unwavering commitment to create innovation ecosystem in our country, with around 100 bio-incubators operating in the country through BIRAC support, which provides plug-and-play facilities to startups. BIRAC has created a battery of funding programs to cover full value chain of biotech innovation, starting from biotech ignition grant to the next level funding, namely BIPP, SIBRI, product commercialization, funding, equity funding, and the funding through fund of funds, etc. As we celebrate 13 years of BIRAC, we look ahead with greater commitments and excellence. The next phase of India's bioeconomy will be shaped by disruptive innovations, strategic collaborations, and the relentless commitment to the sustainability and global cooperation. We look forward to creating strategies for global access of capital and collaborations for our startups through setting up of global accelerators, create scale-up facilities, which has already been initiated under BioE3 policy, navigating regulatory pathways for emerging technologies, and creating institutional mechanisms of venture creation from public-funded research labs. In other words, the faculty and student entrepreneurship. We also want to create a global e-marketplace for products developed indigenously by our startups through BIRAC funding. And the BioSarthi program that we are launching today also is one of the steps towards setting up global accelerators and global cooperation. We already have very vibrant collaborations with Bill Gates Foundation and the World Bank through setting up of PMUs in BIRAC. We look forward to creating more such international collaborations. With unwavering dedication and collective effort, India is not just participating in the global biotechnology revolution, we are also leading it. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to DBT BIRAC and the entire biotech community and stakeholders who have also joined virtually all across the country. Together, let us work towards a Viksit Bharat, an innovation-driven, self-reliant and globally competitive India. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Shri G.S. Krishnan, President, ABLE, highlighted the bioeconomy works.
Bioindustrial is almost 47%, where the enzymes and microbes play an important role with $78.2 billion, followed by the biopharma segment, which is at 35%, and then the bio-IT research services, followed by agriculture. These are the key areas and the way things have been developing. Bioindustrial, which actually contributes to the overall food, the biofuel, the initiatives the Government of India has taken are all contributing. We look forward to continue to develop these segments, and these are going to be the future of the bioeconomic growth in the country. The segment growth at bioindustrial continues to grow with 7.7%, followed by the biopharma at 8.6%. Bio-IT research and services are at almost 30% growth. This is specifically coming from the Global Capability Center, the offshoring of activities of a lot of multinationals to use India as the base for innovation, regulatory and other services, which contributes to this growth, followed by bioagriculture, which also has a significant growth to contribute to the bioeconomy. The top 5 bioindustrial states are basically, we have the Andhra Pradesh, which is again contributing. Aqua is one among the biggest contribution, which is about almost 70% of the shrimp manufactured is happening in Andhra Pradesh. Likewise, Maharashtra, and we have Tamil Nadu and other places which is contributing. The subsegment performance and value, again, you can look at beverage alcohol, which is actually the beer manufacturing and alcohol, which is the number 1. Followed by, we have the animal nutrition, as I already mentioned. We are talking about poultry and aqua. And then we also have the other technical industries, which are textile, pulp and paper and other segments. Followed by bioethanol. This is coming significantly from the government's initiative to have E20 by 2025, which is already happening. And this is again a big achievement, and we are looking forward to 2030 to have 30% ethanol addition in fuel. This is again a biggest contribution and something which India should be very proud about. Followed by biopharma, South is leading by 49%, followed by West, and then of course the North and East together. The major areas of growth here again comes from the biopharmaceutical segment, and again, specifically if you look at it from the state's point of view, it is Karnataka, Telangana and Maharashtra which are the biggest contributors. Maharashtra is number one, and then subsegment is also very clearly you can look at the therapeutics, which is leading with almost 21.4 billion, followed by vaccines, and then of course the diagnostics and the other medical devices.
Dr. Manish Diwan, Mission Director, Make in India for Biotech Sector, BIRAC, presented the overview of the BioSarthi initiative.
BioSarthi is a program where global mentoring for biotech startups will be rolled out through this platform. We will have international mentors, especially Indian diaspora will serve as international mentors for Indian startups. The Indian biotech startups at stage from POC to commercialization, as well as faculty entrepreneurs will gain benefit from this initiative. This would be a virtual interaction spread over 6 months. In a cohort base, 15 to 20 startups would be selected, and each startup would be exposed to 1 to 2 mentors, and they will engage for over a period of 6 months to meet objectives which are decided by the startup that it wants to avail. This will enhance the overall growth trajectory of emerging biotech ventures in the country by infusion of the global expertise in terms of development and also reaching out and extending their network. So today we are launching it. By 3rd of April, which is the Startup Mahakumbh, we will roll out the national application to invite the mentees. Over a period of time, we will have the mentors and mentees engagement started in May, and we will utilize the platforms like We Create a Global Bio India, as well as international platform like Bio US, where we will harness this synergy and attract both Indian diaspora as mentors and expose what is the outcome of this endeavor. So by next Foundation Day, we can expect an experience sharing from this initiative.
The report highlighted the progress made by the bioeconomy sector, and as per the report, the sector is contributing 4.25% to the overall GDP. The sector has shown a CAGR of 17.9% over the past 4 years, showcasing India's potential as a global biotech powerhouse. Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC and Chairman BIRAC said,
I think it's amazing what we have been able to do, how vision of other aspects of bioeconomy report as well as the BioSarthi global mentorship that you have heard about. I thought I should reiterate this is the end of our financial year and March end is kind of an end of budgetary sessions and all everything. I should reiterate some really key important highlight events that we have done over this year actually. And I think that will tell you, and this is generally through the department's activities, both DBT, BIRAC, but will give you a perspective of how amazing journeys have been in last few years that we have been here together as part of this aspect of it. Like for the first aspect of that I would talk about is the gene therapy trials for the hemophilia, which was published in New England Journal of Medicine. An absolute advancement in the way the technologies are being developed in our country. This is the first trial of its kind, a successful trial where even for more than 2 years, the protein that is missing in hemophilia patient can actually be observed in the phase 1 trial activities. The second of these, I'll talk about the novel antibiotic that's discovered in India. Actually, it's 35 years since India had an antibiotic, nephithromycin, again done work in collaboration with BIRAC and the company guys. The third one is the Kishan Kavach, which was launched, and I think this was a very significant moment because we're protecting farmers from pesticides is actually of prima importance for our country's perspective. The fourth one I would like to highlight is the Genome India data that has been released actually, and you can see how this will catalyze the precision medicine activities across the country and also will bring India into the mainstream of genomics activities. Obviously the BioE3 policy with sustainable future, which is going to be the transformative for our country's progress. And finally the biomanufacturing initiative that Alka is so much leading around actually to be able to bring completely new dimension on the economic innovation economy that we are talking about and from an India point of view. So you can see over the year, these 6-7 things that I've talked about, they are of really momentous occasions of what our country can possibly do in an innovation ecosystem. And there are 10,000 plus startups we are talking about. And believe me, this is a buzz with so many novel things and so many exciting aspects that we can just have to leverage their own strength and critical human resource and bring together our energies to make sure that we actually make it more impactful and more concretized as we continue to navigate into these areas of aspects. The BioSarthi program is an absolutely important event because what this allows you to do is one, connect people across the globe, and this on a virtual platform because this has become a very powerful since the COVID times. and allows people to interact, allows people to get an access to funding, venture funding, allows people to get an access to markets, allows people to understand each other's strengths and fragilities. Booming bioeconomy right now, it's to have a CAGR of 13%, 12% every year is very astonishing for a country like this. Obviously, that tells you so much about it, that there are so many things are happening around, that if at all this has to be continued and we have to reach the 2047, the Viksit Bharat platform, we really need to make this as a very big event.
India Bioeconomy Report 2025 and Biosarthi were also launched. Chief guest Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honourable Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, remarked.
In the aura of this bioeconomy report, let's not forget that this also happens to be the completion of the 13 years. And what's been accomplished is actually one of the success stories of this interface called BIRAC. We've done this successfully also in the Department of Space in the form of InSpace, and this is the other version. And I think this is also a role model for the other departments and all those, both in the private sector as well as the public sector, dealing with startups, dealing with entrepreneurs, how best to integrate the two sectors by having a structured interface. Otherwise, it becomes random, sometimes also subjective, and sometimes also disorganized. And the 13th anniversary of BIRAC also assumes a special significance today, because this is the time when government headed by Prime Minister Modi is according a very high priority to all these streams of science, and more so in the context of biotechnology, because it was virtually lying in the backyard. It's been pulled out to the center stage. And those who have seen the scenario changing or the transition or the journey over the last 2 decades would be able to appreciate the kind of transition or the kind of changeover that has happened over the last 1 decade. And the message has gone out loud and clear also. It's not only that's been done, it's also been known to be done, that of course, now here is a government which gives priority to those futuristic areas, futuristic sectors which are going to determine the economic profile of any nation across the world. And as I say, scientists are taught to speak with evidence. I think the biggest evidence comes less than 24 hours back when Mr. Bill Gates had a prolonged deliberation with Rajesh and his team throughout the day, and then concluded it with a meeting with me because of his interest in having an extended private collaboration in the area of biotechnology. And therefore, which means that any businessman or any entrepreneur with a futuristic vision realizes the importance of bioeconomy and the importance of India being a partner in shaping the bioeconomy of tomorrow. Not only domestically, but also internationally, because we have a huge resource which has been lying unexplored, has begun to be explored only recently. And the kind of prioritization which is coming from the political dispensation is evident from the fact that the Prime Minister has been talking about it repeatedly from different fora.
The Minister also unveiled Biosarthi, a pioneering global mentorship initiative aimed at nurturing biotech startups. Designed as a 6-month cohort, Biosarthi will facilitate structured mentor-mentee engagements, offering personalized guidance to emerging entrepreneurs in the biotech sector. This exponential growth is a testament to the government's commitment to fostering biotechnology as a key pillar of India's future economic growth. On the 24th of March 2025, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology, announced the completion of genome sequences of 10,000 isolates of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. On the 24th of March 2022, the umbrella program Dare to Erad TB, that is, data-driven research to eradicate TB, was launched. The initiative included setting up of the Indian Tuberculosis Genomic Surveillance (INTGS) Consortium, evidence-based regimen for treating extrapulmonary tuberculosis, and host-directed therapies as adjunct to anti-TB therapy against tuberculosis. The INTGS Consortium is a pan-India initiative led by DBT, CSIR and ICMR institutes along with clinical establishments. It aims to undertake whole genome sequencing of more than 32,000 isolates of Mycobacterium tuberculosis or isolates to catalog the existing and emerging resistance mutations and study the association of different MTB lineages with treatment outcomes. In about a year and a half of its implementation, the team has accomplished the completion of a remarkable 10,000 genome sequences. The deep genomic dataset has the potential to transform TB diagnostics and drug resistance prediction. This data will forge next-generation genomic tests for diagnosis and predictive models capable of identifying drug resistance mutations with better accuracy. Narrated by Manoj Mainkar and presented by Dilip Jha, this broadcast came to you from the Indraprastha channel of Akashvani, Delhi.